The first thing to understand is that people with disability, particularly intellectual disability, are living much longer. That's the good news. And of course that means that people are getting to the age when they would normally retire, and because they haven't lived that long in the past, this is a relatively new issue that they're confronting in their lives. And likewise, the people who provide support services haven't had to deal with the issue of retirement in such large numbers in the past. So there's really no clear policy or clear range of paths for people to follow to develop a retirement lifestyle. So we're trying to address that by offering one alternative to assist people to gradually begin to develop a retirement lifestyle as they ease out of their full-time sheltered employment to part-time and then ultimately to full retirement. One of the really distinctive features is that we're drawing on all of the resources of the community, not just disability-specific services, but the sorts of activities that all older Australians who are at retirement age make use of. So we're here in Blacktown at the moment in a group of older people who meet at the Salvation Army, and many of the other places that the participants in our project use are things like community gardens, men's sheds, community kitchens where they volunteer. So not only are people getting the opportunity to do enjoyable activities and meet new people, but they're also contributing to their communities as well as being recipients of support. We've made a deliberate decision only to involve one individual with a disability in a particular community group, so that it's special for that person as an individual, and the other members of the group get to know that person by name as a member of the group and not just some large group of people with disabilities who come along. We talk to people within the group about a small number of them becoming mentors and receiving a little bit of training and support from us to help them to know how best to assist the person with a disability to join in the ordinary activities of the group and to feel at home there and part of the whole thing. So if there's a predictable order of activities, you have your cup of tea, you do the art, you help with the tables, you go to the meeting, and that's the same each week, then that helps her to understand what's happening and there are no unpleasant surprises. Myself and my colleagues at the university all come from service delivery backgrounds originally, so the type of research that we like to do is very applied research that makes a real difference in the lives of people with disability. So this is an example of that, and working collaboratively with service providers such as Afford on real problems that confront real people in their lives. It's quite easy to make the transition from a demonstration program in the context of a research project to ongoing service delivery. Fortunately, Afford have been very proactive and have obtained money from the New South Wales government to fund a couple of positions there to undertake this transition to retirement service coordination in an ongoing way. So that is great from our point of view in that we see that the initial work that we've done as researchers is being taken up by the disability service provider industry and implemented in an ongoing fashion in their service delivery. This represents a significant change in the person's life, so it's not something you do lightly. And for most people with disability, they have several different service providers involved in their life, not only their work placement, they might have a separate support agency who assists them to live in a group home, for example, and those service providers naturally have the best interests of the person at heart, and they need to be convinced that this is a good idea. So there's quite a lot of talking through and thinking about what's best before getting in and doing this, and so it's a complex process of getting disparate groups of people to work together to make this happen.
Shirley's lived in this area for over 25 years, so she's quite capable of catching buses, but there's also us there for support if needed. We don't mind driving her around and getting her to and from anything that she's involved in.
Even what sounds simple of getting from home to the community group can be quite complicated because of the schedules of the service providers with their other clients. If the person can't travel independently by public transport and needs to be driven, then that's sometimes a little juggling act. So there are all sorts of practical things like that. We've received excellent support from service providers, but sometimes it takes a little while and good communication to make that happen.
We'll see what we can find then, and I'll let you know.
This helps us to think beyond the usual range of disability-specific services, and there's never going to be enough of those services, but there are lots of other opportunities out there in the community which are really at no cost, that are already happening, and it's just a matter of connecting individual people who share an interest with the group and helping them to take advantage of what's already there, and helping that group, as I said, to learn how best to support somebody to become a member of their organisation.